betrayed CM Punk and Roman Reigns to join Seth Rollins. Jey Uso is the new world champion. We have a new United States champion, and the rest of the show, well, it happened too, I guess. Hola everyone, my name is Nando. I make a video once a week, and today's where I come to review Wrestlemania 41 Night 1. I am very tired and have barely made my bed. Don't look at it, just look at me, baby girl. Let's get into this. Why did I say baby girl? The show begins with Gunther Vs Jey Uso. Jey Uso came out to a very special entrance given to him and all, which was pretty cool. Meanwhile, Gunther, your world champion, came out to a normal entrance. Oh boy, can you just tell who's winning? I don't know how to really describe this match other than being funky. Like, it just felt like two guys who weren't really giving their all for a match that's for the world champion. That's at WrestleMania. That's just the vibe I got. Especially Gunther, I don't think his energy was just in it. Felt like the case that he just wanted the match to be over and done with. The match ends with Jey Uso spamming Gunther with multiple spears and splashes, but yet the match ends with Jey Uso putting Gunther in a chokehold and Gunther would just tap out very easily. Almost too easily. Like, it felt so anticlimactic. Like there was no build-up or anything. Gunther just got hold and just tapped out. He just tapped out. He just wanted to get the match over and done with. So yeah, Jey Uso is your new world champion. Jade doesn't really offend me as a wrestler. He's meh to me, but the crowd wanted this, so who am I to judge? I just question where Gunther goes from here. Save for Jey Uso's world title reign. We now have the War Raiders vs New Day for the Raw Tag Team Champions. Wow! This was indeed a match! Credit to both men, they really tried their hardest to get the crowd going, but just like the previous match, the crowd was mostly dead, and this feud had no heat whatsoever, nor does New Day have any momentum since they turned on Big E. So when they won the tag titles, I just felt nothing. I'm not trying to hate, truly I'm not trying to hate, it's just how I feel. They have poorly booked New Day's heel turn when this should have turned into something special. Maybe we'll see that through this reign, but I'm not sure. We're 2 matches in, and I'm not feeling this WrestleMania vibe yet. Naomi vs Jade came out next, and my lord, even though the crowd sucked so hard, this was still a good match. Naomi's character's been carrying this feud on her back, on TV, on social media, and it's led to this feud being the most anticipated builds of this whole show. And before you don't believe me, just remember, most of these feuds going into this year's WrestleMania has been lackluster as hell. So this feud helped a lot. Jade showed off a lot of her skills and took the W. Good for Jade. Just feel that Naomi should have won this though, because of how much work she was doing to put over this feud and her new character. LA Knight vs Fatu for the US Championship. LA Knight came out to a special entrance for the card, and even with that, the crowd could barely give a reaction to him. Seriously, you paid 14 months worth of rent to get to WrestleMania, and you come here just to not react at all? What is wrong with you? Half of the match was the crowd being dead, but thankfully later on, LA Knight and Fatu are just such great wrestlers that they're able to pick up and get the crowd going again. Even having a mid-air BFT. Freaking wild! But anyways, Fatu literally kills LA Knight with 2 moonsaults to win the US champion. Well deserved. Rey Fenix and Grande Americano happened next. It was supposed to be Rey Mysterio in this match, but apparently he got injured on SmackDown. Well wishes to him, so Rey Fenix replaced him. They had a pretty good TV match with some amazing offense with each other, but Grande won, which surprised me. I thought this whole angle would just last to Mania and we'd be done with it, and I thought we'd just get rid of the mask, but I guess the feud must continue, I guess. Tiffany and Charlotte turned out to be a pretty decent to a good match. Crowd was so dead as hell, but thankfully with Tiffany being a good wrestler and Charlotte actually putting in effort to her performance for once, Tiffany Stratton won, which was the absolute right decision, but this match just felt like there was no heat to it, even though they had multiple weeks of real life heat with each other. So it was just odd that I didn't feel that from their match. And then it was time for the main event. Seth Rollins vs CM Punk vs Roman Reigns. This 32-minute match was a chaotic mess, and I loved it. Everyone kept spamming finishes at each other like everyone had infinite finishes on them. There was even this part where Seth is like, let's do the shield thing. And Roman's like, yeah, let's do the shield thing. And then psych, he did not want to do that at all. The match concluded with Paul Heyman taking out a chair. Indecisive if he was going to give it the chair to Roman or Punk. He reluctantly gives it to Punk, making the decision that he's sticking with CM Punk. And now, this is where things get heated, because this will be a hot take for me, because what's about to happen here was a good angle, but how the angle was structured was so awful. Just let me explain. So when Paul gives Punk the chair, it's all well and done, it's all fine, but then for some reason, Paul went into the ring. What? He's never done that. He's never done that in matches. He's never really reached his way to enter into the ring. So when I see him so confident being in the same ring as Punk, it just gave away that, oh, Paul's gonna betray him. And so he did, aligning himself to stick with Roman after all. But when Roman was about to finish off Seth, Paul is still in the ring by Roman's side. Something he never does in matches. And you could just see his eyes tweaking as he's waiting for his cue to turn on him. A low blow to Roman Reigns and a stomp on Seth Rollins helped Seth get the W. Like I said, great match, poor structured finish. I'm really interested in how this partnership will go. I've always felt that Seth has just been really stale and needs a character change. I felt like this whole Joker-like persona that he had with these promos, his outfits, was just driving away from what made Seth Rollins special to me. And I believe that Paul Heyman is going to make Seth Rollins feel special once again to me. This WrestleMania, to me, just kind of felt like a letdown, I can't lie. The crowd was mostly dead, matches didn't give that WrestleMania feel to it up until the main event happened. I'm just hoping for night 2 to somewhat get better than this. That's all for me. Hope you enjoyed. Here are my socials. Subscribe now. I make a video every single week. I got a Finn Balor video coming up in the next 2 weeks, but I'll also have WrestleMania Night 1 review coming tomorrow. Enjoy yourself, guys. Goodbye.